guys, what's going on? Darth Deuces here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing an overview of the Star Wars The Black Series Wave 9, I do believe. It's the Darth Revan wave, so just by saying that you probably know what I'm talking about. It's Wave 9 of the black and red packaging, I guess. I don't really know how they name all these waves. There's been so many waves, and they keep resetting it to 0 or 1. Keep resetting it every so often, so I lose track, and I don't want to figure it out. I just looked it up, it said Wave 9, so I'm going with that. Though if that's wrong, then please let me know. But I'm going to be doing wave overview. That's all you need to know. Just a couple of things that I want to start off with. First of all, how it's going to work is I'm going to just rank them all from my least, what I think is the worst figures to the best figures in the wave. I'll give you my 2 cents and whatever, then I'll just kind of talk about in general a few things I want to mention. First of all, right off the bat, this wave is a pretty strong wave. There's no figure that is bad in this wave. It's one of the first few waves that's given us more than just like 2 new figures in a wave. Oh, actually, that's not true. The Rogue One, never mind. But it's not every so often that we get a wave of Black Series 6 figures that gives us more than like 2 or 4 new figures. So getting 6 brand new figures, or I guess technically 5 brand new figures at the time, is pretty impressive. They're all really great characters, and they're all pretty much well done for the most part. Another thing to mention is I do not have the Leia figure, but I'm going to do this video anyways because she was going to be last on the list anyways, so spoiler alert. I can't even talk, it's like 11:30. Spoiler alert, she's last and I don't have her, so there we go. I wasn't really planning on getting her, and now that the 40th anniversary one's out that has a way better like head sculpt and whatever, I'm definitely not getting that one now, so yeah, just take it as I've seen enough videos that she's the worst one on the list. She's not a terrible figure, but she's far from being great. But without further ado, I'll get started off with the first figure on the list. At number 5, I have the Ben Kenobi figure here, and before you crucify me for having this figure so low on the list, I'll explain why it's so low on the list. And it's mainly because he's not a brand new figure. Technically, it's a repack with less accessories of the exclusive version that came with the table and Anakin's lightsaber. He doesn't come with any of those extra accessories, and it's just him. And I didn't really feel like he should be put ahead of figures that introduced brand new sculpts, so I put him lower on the list. But that's not to say this isn't a great figure, and for people who couldn't get the exclusive like me, this is excellent. But I mean, sculpt wise, it's a great looking figure. Head sculpt, maybe not the best looking head sculpt, in terms of Hasbro's, it's a pretty decent head sculpt, especially for Hasbro's standards with humans likenesses. It looks decently like Alkin. It's not 100% on, but it does look okay. He uses a soft goods robe, which actually fits really nicely. It's a nice color, nice material, and if you fiddle with the hood enough, you can get the hood in a pretty good looking over the head. It doesn't look too goofy, which is really nice. I really do like that. It comes with the lightsaber. Articulation's pretty good. He does have the stupid in and out wrist, which I don't like, but what can you do? But it is old man Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original trilogy, and if you're collecting the Black Series 6 line, I think it's an essential figure you should have in your collection. Now for number 4, we have the Snowtrooper, and this is the figure that I wanted to like a lot more. And that's not to say it's not a great figure, or that's not a good figure. It's a good figure, but in my opinion, it's not a great figure. It just has some things that are bringing it down. Sculpt-wise, I think it's really, really good. I love the helmet sculpt, and the sculpt of the armor looks really good and all that, and the fabric and everything's really good. Accessories are pretty good. He comes with a long rifle, it comes with an E11, and you can remove the backpack, which is pretty cool. But he falls short a bit in the articulation and in the paint apps. In terms of paint apps, the white armor, anywhere that there's white armor, it looks good. Anywhere where there's like clothing, it does not. The clothing is almost in this almost cream beige sort of color. And I've looked online images of snowtroopers, and their clothing does not look that beige-ish. It should be not as bright white as the armor, but not this dark either. And I think the wrong color, it's a wrong color, and it just makes the figure look off. The contrast between the clothing and the armor is just too noticeable, and it makes them look a little weird. Articulation's also not as great as I'd like. The Kama is a thicker plastic and it restricts some movement, and the helmet also restricts some movement, and he doesn't have double hinges at the elbows. But most of these I can forgive, considering the helmet sculpt and the sculpt just in general. I can forgive most of the articulation, but it would have been nice to get a better articulation. That being said, it's still a cool figure. I think it's really cool if you're collecting the Imperial Troopers, but perhaps it's an easy pass if you're not collecting the Imperial Troopers. Next up in third place is the figure that surprised me a lot, where the Snowtrooper kind of disappointed me. The AT-AT driver has actually blown me away. Aside from articulation, this guy is really, really cool. Sculpt is great. Just the overall feel of the figure, he has that quality feel that you get with the old like Wave 1 and 2 Black Series figures. Articulation is still not bad, though it is hindered a bit because of the helmet and the sculpt, and this big life support box in front of him does hinder some articulation. And the shoulder armor also inhibits some articulation. But I mean, just the sculpt and the paint apps are excellently executed on this figure. Articulation and other places like the legs is great, and just again the overall feel, it feels like quality. I think Hasbro really nailed this one really good. It's an easy pass if you're not really into all the Imperial Troopers or whatever. You're not crazy about getting all the Imperial Troopers. It's a figure where, yeah, you can't really do much with him because he's a driver and we have no AT-AT to put him in. But just as a display piece, I think he looks really good. And even if you're having doubts about this figure, I think he'll be pleasantly surprised with him. I think he looks really, really. It was pretty hard to decide between number 1 and number 2, but for number 2, I have to go with Sabine from Star Wars Rebels. And I think, again, Hasbro really did a really good job at translating a Rebels character into a realistic 6-inch Black Series figure. We've gotten Kanan and Ahsoka, and now we've got Sabine, and we have Hera on the way. And again, they did a really good job with this figure. Sculpt is great. Paint apps are good for the most part. Paint apps could be a little better on the face, but still paint apps are great for the most part. A very more colorful figure, which is cool. Articulation good, and she comes with a great amount of accessories. She has her pistols, which you can holster in the holsters. She got a little spray paint gun, which they didn't need to include, but they did, which is really cool. And she also has a removable helmet with a removing rangefinder. Just everything about this figure is great. It's objectively maybe the best figure in the wave, but it's really hard to pick between this one and the one I have number 1, which I'm sure you can guess who it is. But this is a really, really great figure. If you really hate Rebels, then it's probably an easy pass for you, but it's a great figure, and you should pick it up because it's really. And lastly, at number 1, we have Darth Revan, the 2015 Fans' Choice Poll winner. I'm a little biased with this because I'm a big Sith junkie, and Revan's pretty cool. But I do think this is a phenomenal figure. You could argue Sabine's better, but I like this one just a bit more. Just excellent. I think Hasbro definitely, they're under pressure to perform with this figure, and I think they definitely did perform with this figure. Sculpt is great. I absolutely love the mask sculpt. I think it looks phenomenal. It's not going to want to focus for me, is it? Focus, please. There you go. The mask sculpt and the paint apps are just great. They went with the plastic hood, which I'm actually happy about because it captures that sort of look a lot better, even though it does hinder quite a bit of movement. He has a really nice soft goods cape with some rips and whatnot cut into it, which is really cool, and the fabric's pretty nice. Sculpt in general is just fantastic. The soft goods on his, I guess, skirt or whatever is of a different, more rougher material, and again, looks really good. The armor is nicely painted and sculpted. He comes with 2 lightsabers, his red lightsaber and his purple lightsaber. Articulation's pretty good. This guy can pose really, really well, and I absolutely just love this figure. I think Hasbro really nailed that park. I think right now it is my number 1 Black Series, favorite Black Series 6-inch figure. It is really, really good. So overall, I think this is a really strong wave of Black Series 6-inch figures. We get our fair share of original trilogy characters, Rebels characters, and an EU Legends character. Just a very diverse array of characters, all of them, for the most part, really well executed. I think Hasbro is really starting to finally, get the quality going again with the Black Series. I mean, there's still a little hit and miss, but I think there's definitely improvements coming after the Force Awakens figures. Some of them were not good, so it's really nice to see they're finally stepping up their game again, going back to that more good quality of the first few waves that they originally released. again, just an excellent wave. Not the easiest figures to find, unfortunately. But I think if you had the chance to pick up any of these figures, minus maybe the Leia, 100% pick them up, because they'll be an excellent addition to your Black Series 6-inch collection. And I think this is definitely one of the best waves to come out in a long time, honestly. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this wave in the comments down below. And I'll see you all later. May the Force be with you.